I hear the heavy sigh of your soul at this very moment. I know the deep exhaustion you've been harboring, hidden behind a tired smile, trying to show strength to everyone around you. You feel as if you're walking in the dark, desperately searching for a light, a sign that will bring relief to your troubled heart. And that's exactly why I prepared this encounter in the silence of your pain. This message was made for you, to be delivered precisely at this moment in your life. See now with the eyes of the Spirit, because I do not ignore your silent pleas. This channel brings reflections based and grounded in my word and sacred principles for your spiritual strengthening and growth. Have you ever wondered why battles seem to multiply just when you think you can't bear any more? There is a spiritual reason for the desert you are crossing, and I will reveal it to you if your heart remains open until the end. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 29, I promise that I give strength to the weary and multiply the vigor of those who have no vigor. I am the God who sustains, and I have done so in the lives of thousands who, like you, thought of giving up, but found safe refuge in me. In the next few minutes of this journey, I will lift this weight from your shoulders. I will reveal the path to inner healing, confirm your identity as my beloved daughter, and show you the door of peace that I have already opened for your future. If this word of God is touching you, comment below with your name, the country, state, and city you are watching from, and what time it is there. I want your soul to cry out, as a true outpouring of someone who longs for my touch, and write in the comments, Lord my God, I am here. I subscribed because I love you and want to hear you. Let this declaration be the first step in your restoration. Take advantage of this move of faith to subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and activate the notification bell so that my voice continues to reach you every day. Stay with me until the last word, because I will give a clear answer at the end. A phrase will be whispered to the heart of whoever remains, and whoever writes that phrase in the comments will receive prophetic blessings released in faith. The burden you carry isn't just about difficult circumstances. There's an invisible root sucking away your joy, something you're afraid to face, and I'm going to show you how to cut that root. Before we move on, I ask your inner self, what secret pain have you hidden from the world, but that I've always seen? Write here in the comments our word of faith, declaring who I am in this moment of your life, my comfort. I know the invisible burden that weighs on your shoulders. Many times you look around and feel that there's no one to share the load, no one to hold your hand when the ground seems to give way. Loneliness has been a cruel companion, whispering in your mind that you've been forgotten, that your struggles don't matter to anyone else. You have given so much of yourself to care for others, to keep the structure of your home standing. But when the door closes and the silence of the night takes over, the emptiness in your chest speaks louder. I see the scars on your soul. In the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 22, I wrote for you to cast your burdens upon the Lord, and he will sustain you, and will never permit the righteous to fall. Bring this truth into your reality now. When the tightness in your chest tries to suffocate you, and the feeling of helplessness knocks at the door, remember that I am holding the foundation of your life. You are not crumbling. You are being sustained by my own hands. Your human strength has limits, my daughter, and it is precisely where your fragility cries out for help that my infinite power begins to act and lift you up. However, there is a spiritual reason why you have felt this burden triple in weight lately. There is something the adversary has tried to steal from your essence amidst all this weariness, and I am about to reveal what was taken from your heart and how I myself will return it in divine proportions. If my voice has brought relief to your weary soul, leave your mark of love by liking this message and allow your heart to dwell here, subscribing to continue receiving my support. Share this message with someone who is also walking wounded and needs to find the strength to continue. And before I reveal the next step, tell me in the depths of your silence, what is your heart pleading with me for today so that you can breathe in peace? Write here in the comments our word of faith, declaring what I am for your life in this desert, my refuge. I know the silence of your early morning. When sleep flees and anguish takes over your chest, I am there. I collect every tear that runs down your spine, those tears that you hide from everyone during the day, so as not to appear weak before those who depend on you. The cold of the early morning often seems to freeze your hope, and the constant weariness in your mind steals your peace. You might wonder if I truly hear your unspoken prayers, the groans of a soul that no longer has the strength even to form words. In the book of Psalms, chapter 56, verse 8, it is recorded that I collect all your tears in my bottle and note each one in my book. I know the exact reason for every drop that falls. When fear tries to convince you that there is no way out and that this pain will be your eternal dwelling place, I call you to remember that your tears are seeds planted in the soil of my love. None of them fell in vain or went unnoticed by my care. I am, at this very moment, transforming this deep weeping into a harvest of restoration that will wash and heal your inner self completely. But know that this acute pain is not the end of your journey. There is a grand mystery kept precisely in these hours of darkness that you face alone. Evil tried to use these sleepless nights to destroy your conviction and steal your identity, but I am forging a dawn that will completely change your spiritual perception. What I will deliver to you in the coming time will bring a relief your heart hasn't experienced in many years. If the touch of my voice has brought warmth to your soul now, leave a like as a sign that you feel my presence embracing you. Allow your heart to be a constant altar, uniting with me by subscribing to hear what I have to say to you every day. Send this message to that life you know, also cries in silence and desperately needs hope. Now answer me, with the purest truth from your heart, what wound do you most long for me to touch and heal within you tonight? Write here in the comments our word of faith, declaring my action in your pain, my balm. Your pain and sleepless nights have forged a broken heart within you, fertile ground where my grace and provision can freely sprout. If it is possible for you, and only if it is possible, transform your gratitude for the healing that has already begun into a seed of love for this channel. Consider my unfathomable love and the love of my Son Jesus, and support using the link in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. There you will find the place where your contribution of love can be deposited and consecrated before the Creator of all things. You can support with any amount, my beloved daughter, and always remember, bring only what fits peacefully in your heart. I receive with profound love, because the material size of the offering doesn't matter. What truly matters to me is the sincere and grateful spirit with which it is given. For what may seem little to you in my kingdom becomes much to the one who receives. And for those who contribute any amount with a transparent heart, don't forget to include your name and city with your contribution. Because on the first day of the following month, in a unique and very special video on our channel and page, Divine Love, the Voice of God, your name will be remembered with affection and mentioned in gratitude through prayer. For it is written, "Now he who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food will also supply and increase your store of seed, and will enlarge the harvest of your righteousness," as it says in 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 10. Every offering given in faith amidst your own emotional desert is a seed watered before me, your Lord. And I will not fail to bear fruit for any of them, returning them in the form of peace, guidance, and provision for your home. I see your struggles and your faithfulness in secret, and I reward you in the sight of all. Stay until the end of this message, because I still want to touch your heart with my voice. The storm that has haunted your nights still hides a vital answer that will change the direction of your coming days. If my word has brought calm to your weary heart, leave your like as an embrace of my spirit. Subscribe to this safe place, so that my presence continues to be your constant support. Send this message to that friend who also needs a miracle in her soul and in her livelihood. Answer me with the sincerity of one who trusts. What does your heart most desire to see flourish after such arid times? Write here in the comments our word of faith, declaring what I am in your finances and in your home, my sustenance. I know the questions screaming in your mind as you navigate this storm. Many times you've looked to the sky and wondered why there's so much headwind, why the waters seem to rise higher and higher around your boat, threatening to sink your dreams and the peace of your family. You feel exhausted from rowing against the tide, struggling every day to keep your spirits up, but seeing the problems accumulate like dark clouds that won't dissipate. Despair has tried to whisper that I've abandoned you in the midst of this turbulent sea, but I am the one who walks on the waters that haunt you. In the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 28, I made you a direct invitation, saying, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." When the storm at home, in your emotions or in your health, tries to shipwreck you, remember to let go of the oars of fear and surrender the direction of the boat to me. You don't need to solve everything with your own strength, my daughter. Your rest will not come from the absence of struggles, but from the unwavering certainty that I am in control of all the waves. But don't be mistaken in thinking this trial is a punishment. There is a purifying purpose in the storm you are facing. The storm did not come to destroy your foundation. It came to remove everything that was not firmly established on my rock. And what will emerge when these waters recede will be an unshakable emotional and spiritual structure, ready to live the promises I have prepared. If my voice is calming the storm in your heart, leave a like as a sign of faith. Subscribe to this refuge of love so that I may continue to guide your boat every day. Share this message with someone who is also facing strong winds and needs to know that I am the anchor. And in the depths of your weary soul, answer me. What is the inner storm that you need me to calm down right now? Write here in the comments our word of faith, declaring what I am in the midst of your stormy sea, my peace. If your heart desires to go deeper with me, so as not to get lost again in the storm winds when night falls, I have left you a gift in the form of a journey, which I wrote with much love and care for all my beloved daughters and sons, the digital book called Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. It was carefully prepared to accompany you day after day, in silence and intimacy, being the daily remedy that your wounded soul needs to rebuild itself. Access is also available in the link in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. And if today is not possible for you, do not condemn yourself in any way. Remain with me here, breathing deeply, because I will also sustain and calm you with this message, and so that your heart may find rest and not be troubled amidst the uncertainties. After you calmly complete the registration, access will arrive in the email you provided with all the correct instructions, step by step, to begin your healing journey with me each morning. For it is written, "Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light for my path," in the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 105. Let me be the gentle compass in your mornings and the shelter in your nights. I am here, with open arms, ready to guide you beyond this pain. Breathe, trust, and feel my eternal embrace. The wind is already dying down, and the calm you so long for is closer than you can imagine. If my constant care has warmed your heart, let your enjoyment be an act of surrender. Subscribe to this space so that we may walk together every day without letting go of each other's hands. Send this message to anyone who also needs a safe shoulder and words of life. And now, looking inward, answer me, what is the silent fear that my presence needs to dispel from your mind as you fall asleep? Write here in the comments our word of faith, declaring my unwavering presence in your life, my guide. I know how long you have waited before a door that seemed locked forever. The years went by, and the feeling that your life had stalled in suffering began to take root in your mind. You watched other people's days go by, you rejoiced in their victories, but deep in your heart a voice whispered, asking when your turn would come for a moment of peace. The weariness of waiting almost extinguished the spark of faith that still remained within you, making you believe that your destiny was only to endure and survive. In the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 8, I declare with all my authority that I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. What circumstances tried to bury and what disappointment tried to hide, I am bringing to light at this very moment. The phase of merely resisting life's blows has come to an end. I am turning the key to a new time, inaugurating a cycle of calm where you will no longer need to fight with your own strength to find relief. The peace that will invade your mind will be so real that you will feel your breath lighter as soon as you wake up in the morning. But there is a spiritual condition to cross this door, an invisible baggage full of accumulated resentments and unresolved guilt, which you insist on embracing, will need to be left on the ground before you take the next step towards this new cycle. What is it that still imprisons your mind in the pains of yesterday? The answer to this liberation is closer than you imagine, and I am about to give you the courage necessary to let go of what no longer serves you. If the promise of this new time has brought hope to your exhausted spirit, Leave your like as the first step towards that door. Subscribe so that my voice continues to be your beacon in this new phase that begins. Share this message with that person who also cries before closed doors and needs to know that the key has already turned. In the silence of your surrender, answer me. What is the door of relief that you most beg me to open in your home today? Write here in the comments our word of faith, declaring my sovereignty over your future, my deliverance. I know how your inner strength falters in the face of trials that rise up like giants. There are days when facing reality demands a courage you feel has long since run out. The fear of tomorrow, the deep dread that the same frustrations of the past will repeat themselves, have paralyzed your will to dream again. Disappointment has tried to whisper in your ear that your time for reaping good news has passed, that your life is already defined by losses, and that the only way out is resignation. But I now breathe upon your downcast spirit the breath of my renewal. In the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 9, I left a supreme command recorded for you, saying, Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Bring this truth to the center of your anguish at this moment. When the weight of responsibilities tries to break your hope, and anxiety screams that you won't be able to take the next step, remember this word of mine. I am not just asking you to be strong, I am infusing my own strength into your being. The courage to lift your head will not come from your human capacity, but from my divine authority that lifts you from the ground. But today's victory still holds a final seal. Everything we have planted in your heart since the beginning of our encounter needs to be crowned with a spiritual key that I am about to give you, a truth that will forever change your posture in the face of struggles. If the strength emanating from me has already begun to warm your will to live, leave your like as a sign that you accept my upliftment. Subscribe to this healing channel so that I can continue to renew your spirit with each new dawn. Share this message with that person who is paralyzed by fear and urgently needs my courage. And before I seal our encounter, answer me, with a soul stripped of fears, in which area of your life do you most need me to breathe life back into it today? Write here in the comments our word of faith, declaring my sovereignty over your weaknesses, my fortress. The journey we have traveled to this very moment was not a mere accident of time, my beloved daughter. Every word I poured upon your heart was sent to wash away the dust of accumulated sadness and remind you who you truly are in me. I gathered your invisible burden, dried the tears of your dark dawn, calmed the storm that stole your breath, and unlocked the door of peace for your tomorrow. I breathed upon your weakness to lift you up with my own divine courage. You no longer walk alone on the roads of stone and trial. At the beginning of this healing encounter, I promised that a clear answer would be delivered, and a phrase would be whispered to the heart of whoever remained steadfast in my presence. The sublime moment has arrived to seal your faith. Keep this truth in the deepest part of your soul, and make it your daily shield when fear tries to return. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. This is the spiritual key that opens the heavens over your life today, the promise that my grace sustains your entire existence. Write this exact phrase in the comments right now as an act of surrender, of unwavering trust, and of direct response to my call. Let the heavens record your declaration, and the earth witness your powerful rising. My work of restoration in you does not cease with this sigh of relief. There are deeper mysteries, vaster healings, and even greater directions that I wish to reveal in the coming days for your life and your home. Our conversation of love will continue, because I still have much to say to your wounded heart. Remain on our channel's playlist. Let my voice continue to fill the silence of your dwelling and guide your steps with each new dawn. For my source of love and provision never dries up. Rest your heart in my embrace now. I am the strength that dwells in your weakness. I am the tomorrow that awaits you with peace. I am your God, and I will never leave you.